Of course, this would turn into a skit, some shtick. Hilda and I met in the fall of 1975. We attended an actor's workshop at Casa Manana in Fort Worth. We showed off together, learned together, and laughed together. Then she said, "My son's a lawyer in Washington, D.C. He'll be home for Thanksgiving." And could she give him my phone number? Turns out she was checking me out. The rest is history. She got a daughter-in-law, 2 of the world's best grandchildren, and a lifetime pass to say to Stuart, "You should always listen to your mother." I got a lifetime to show my gratitude to Hilda. Hilda came from an era and a family which didn't show love outwardly or easily. So Hilda showed her love greatly with a clean house, clean and orderly home, and delicious, healthy meals. When my daughter, Sally, went to TCU in Fort Worth, the first thing Gammy did was give her her own house key. If you had the key to her home, you had the key to her heart.
Hey guys. So I'd like to say a few words on about Gammy, or that's how I knew her. She has had a lot of names and titles. You kind of accumulate them after 96 years, I guess. To some, she's a mother. She was certainly a wife to at least one person. She's a grandmother and ultimately a great-grandmother, which she was overjoyed about, I'm certain. She was Hilda, Gammy the Great. To me, she was Gammy. And just sitting trying to write about her life, just to say things to y'all, it was a struggle, not for lack of things, but just the idea that trying to write it down would just be so limited. I'm looking at a blank piece of paper right now. Pretty much. I knew her as one of the only grandparents that I managed to get to know personally. I would spend time with her, just me and her, growing up, which was great. She would leave me alone in the backyard to play in the mud and twigs. I used to build little fortresses. I would hang out inside with her, and she would teach me about slang and Yiddish. Tell me some pretty great stories about when she used to teach English at the Berlitz. How she taught 50 governors from Turkey, the vice president's son of Yemen. How she had gotten propositioned by some Japanese businessmen who moved to Japan. Of course she said no, but I think she was flattered. It's still kind of unreal that someone who just represented like an enduring life force is not here. I haven't quite accepted that world yet. But that will come in its own time. But for now, Uh, she had a potent intellect that she used to the best of her ability, and to give us things that will remember her, and to inject as much history as she could into us, to teach us things. I think she definitely had an idea of how she wanted to be remembered. She had a pretty good idea of the grandmother that she wanted to be, and I definitely think she succeeded. Yeah, that's my closing. Oh yeah. So she was, like I said, she was a mom. She was a great mom. Once her kids went off to college, she said to Gampy, "Now I want to go to college." She went to college and took advantage of that, and just did her best to take advantage of every moment and year she had left. And she rocked it. She really did. And she did it with a fine sense of humor. And so to close, because I could go on forever, I really could, I'm going to read to y'all one of her favorite riffs. She had magnet attached to the fridge with magnets. An important news update. Senior citizens are the nation's leading carrier of aids. Hearing aids, Band-Aids, roll aids, walking aids, medical aids, government aids, and most of all, monetary aids to their children. The golden years have come at last. I cannot see, I cannot pee, I cannot chew, I cannot screw. My memory shrinks, my hearing stinks. No sense of smell, I look like hell. My body's drooping, got trouble pooping. So the golden years have come at last? Well, the golden years can kiss my ass. So I think I'll cut it off there. Love you guys.
Well, I am Sally, Hilda's granddaughter, and Stuart and Carolyn's daughter. Gammy, Hilda was always my grandmother, but it wasn't until I entered college that she became my friend. We spent so much time together in Fort Worth, and like Mom said, she gave me a key to her home. And she didn't hesitate to call me to take her to Temple when she couldn't drive anymore. We would go to lectures. She would make me meals. And then when she moved to Dallas, we started having weekly visits. And I learned about her as a person. And this was a really important time for me because I was developing as a woman. And I realized after getting to know her how special of a woman she was, and what fearlessness looked like, and how she was such a rebel in her own way. Like Eddie said, she went back to school when she was 50-ish, and she was so proud of that. And in turn, I was so proud of her for that. I decided after school that I would become a photographer, and as I spent so much time with her, she became my muse. And we just had a ball. We shared a wicked sense of humor. And we would just laugh so much. And I'll never forget that. I loved her, and I will miss her forever.